Okay, let's get started because just being mindful of everyone's time, and then whoever joins us can jump right in as well. So I'm going to screen share. Share with sound. Now you guys should be able to see my screen, right? Okay, this is something I absolutely love showing people about and teaching on is essential oils, and I try to make it as easy as possible. So this class is basically super duper simple, talking about 3 cool things about essential oils, 3 ways to use them, and how to get oils in your home. The goal of the class is to empower you, okay? Empower you maybe with a little bit more knowledge about essential oils than you had previously. Really, my job is done if you learn the 3 cool things about essential oils and 3 ways to use them in your home, okay? So as we go through, like I mentioned before, any questions you might have, I try to make it as interactive as possible, maybe asking your guys' opinions on things and things like that. First of all, we're gonna watch this really short video because it's really important to know that not all essential oils are created equally, okay? So even before we get into what we're gonna talk about on how to use these oils, we need to understand that we can't take this information and go and buy our oils at Whole Foods or go and buy our oils at, you know, wherever it may be, and utilize them the way I'm going to teach you guys to utilize essential oils, because not all oils are created equally. Okay, so this is a short video on doTERRA's sourcing initiative. Okay, this is very unique and something that really speaks to my heart and speaks to why is a big driving factor as to why I choose to share these oils, and I feel comfortable using them on myself and on my kids. Okay.
We knew that we would have to reach around the world at some point and tap into the global supply of essential oils. And we also assumed that we would need to increase that as well. The fact that we were able to do it with this co-impact sourcing model was just beautiful.
2/3 of the countries that we source our oils from are considered developing countries. And so we now have an opportunity to truly make a difference, to provide sustainable income for those people who are growing, harvesting, and distilling these beautiful oils for our benefit.
What we're doing through these initiatives are, first, job creation in rural areas where we can have a big impact. 2, working through long-term sourcing contracts and agreements with our partners. 3, helping the formation and organization of cooperatives, which share collective benefits among the harvesters and the growers themselves. 4th, fair and on-time payments, and even profit-sharing programs that the distillers offer to the growers and harvesters. 5th, through linking community-based and social impact projects funded through our Healing Hands Foundation.
For them to get the water, they had to walk at least an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, okay, back and forth. Today we can say that it's a special day because water has been flowing since midday today. With the help of doTERRA, of course, and Healing Hands, okay, we put a good team together, and that's how today everybody is happy. On either side, it's like a win-win-win situation.
Sometimes it's schools that they're in need of, sometimes it's water systems, sometimes it's medical clinics, medical supplies, whatever it might be. If you can change the lives of these people that have so little, that's how you can actually impact an economy.
We share the same values, the same philosophy. doTERRA's vision is to source sustainable oils and to create co-impact at the source to improve growers' livelihoods. So we are perfectly aligned in what we want to do. So that's why we signed an exclusive partnership with doTERRA on the aromatherapy business.
We are now working with more than 6,000 families in the cardamom sector, and the idea is to really improve the livelihoods of that families. I get the importance of getting back to my country and help the people in my country.
Oftentimes they think that their lives will always remain the same. And for someone to be able to really come in and be able to care about them and care about their family and to give them a sense of pride for the work that they do, to know that it matters, it's amazing to see the lights go on and for them to truly have that pride in their heart to know that they're doing something good for the world. We are so committed to co-impact sourcing because this is a way we really see that we can make a difference in the world, in these countries that have no other means of help, have no other means of support.
Not only, of course, is meeting the needs where we're able to obtain the high quality essential oil that we must have, but also just the ability that it gives us to give back and to help so many people and to provide employment for so many people. That's been just downright magical.
That's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool to know like where the oils come from. You know, wintergreen is sourced from Nepal. Like in a sense, it's wildcrafted. These women are going out every morning, early morning before their families are even awake, to go and harvest those wintergreen leaves from the mountains, right? Those women carrying the things with the baskets on their heads, on their backs, that's what they're doing. And cardamom comes from Guatemala. It's just cool how we know who we are supporting when we're utilizing these oils, right? So the general flow of our class today, like I mentioned, 3 cool things, 3 ways to use them. We'll go through a little bit of essential oils that are really like kind of the most important oils or the most used oils. You guys, as we go through them, I mean, Erica, I'm gonna ask how you use this one. Erica's got a few oils of her own too. So as we go through them, and then after that, I'll show you some options on how to purchase, just so you kind of know how doTERRA kind of works. And then at the end of that, I show normally like on every class like this, a basics class, I show a little intro to how the business side of doTERRA works. So you're welcome to stick around. You don't have to stick around for the ending. But yeah, that's kind of what we're going to go through. So anytime you have questions, feel free to unmute or use the chat box or whatever, okay? So 3 cool things about essential oils. Remember, we're talking about doTERRA. So they're safe, they're effective, and they're affordable. First thing, they're safe. They are 100% natural and safe. There's nothing added, nothing taken away to these oils, okay? There's no side effects and no addictions. This is really important. I like to say there's only side benefits. For example, if I had a burn on my hand and I'm using my lavender oil, I'm also getting the side benefit of that's also calming and it's soothing to my nervous system, right, and my energy. So they're extracts from plants. The majority of them are steam distilled. So looking at this peppermint oil here, this is a steam distilled oil. It's distilled from the leaves of the peppermint plant. They're 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs alone, okay? So for example, 1 drop of peppermint oil is about 30 cups of your conventional peppermint tea. Okay, so if you were to brew 30 cups of tea, that's the equivalent of about 1 drop. Okay, so they're very, very potent. If you had peppermint oil, I can't find my peppermint oil this morning, it must be in the car, but what we would do if we were in person, we would take a drop in our hand and we would rub our hands together. I'm gonna do it with Breeze or Easy Air because that's what I've got here. It's so refreshing. You rub your hands together, pop over your mouth and nose and take a big inhale. So this opens the airways. Peppermint cools the body. It's energizing. It's like enlivening, right? You can use it on topically on your body for cooling down, like I mentioned, for soothing any tension, head tension. There's so many uses for peppermint. Erica, would you like to share one did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I use it a lot for headaches.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's so delicious too. So you can actually make a pot of tea with your peppermint oil. Put 1 drop in a pot, a literal pot of tea, with a bit of honey as an emulsifier to mix it in, and it is absolutely delicious. 1 drop in some raw chocolate that you're making. It's super, super yummy and so strong and powerful. Okay, so that's number 1. They're super safe. They're safe for newborn babies, right? You just have to know how to use them. And the beauty with doTERRA is when you're purchasing through your own account, which I'm going to show you, and you're getting that discount, you're also getting all of your education. Okay, depending on your needs and your interests, you're getting all your education. So the second cool thing is they're effective. So in some cases, they're more effective than modern approaches to health problems. We know, like, the world is kind of shifting, right? We know that antibiotics are water-based. If we have a virus, we go to the doctor for a virus. We say, you know, go home, rest, drink lots of fluids, just take it easy, let it run its course, because it's known. Modern medicine cannot touch a virus, right? And with the global state right now, look what we've got going on. We've got this huge pandemic going on, right? And so it's pretty cool to know that medicinal grade oils, actually, this picture right here is depicting is there's a virus on the inside of the cell, right? Bacteria, if you think of, like, I think you guys can see me, this is a cell in your body. Bacteria infections, they are on the outside, right? They're on the outside of the cell. But there's this lipid layer on the outside of the cell that's protecting the cell, right? Viruses, the reason why modern medicine cannot touch viruses is because it's water-based, like I mentioned. So water and oil do not mix. And so the virus is inside the cell, literally duplicating, okay? So that's pretty cool to know that essential oils can support the body's natural functions to heal itself, right? Specifically, this oil here, On Guard, this is a big deal, right? This is a really big deal. And some people ask, well, why isn't this mainstream, or why isn't this, why do more doctors not use this? Slowly, doctors are transitioning, but the reality is there's no money in wellness, right? And also, you cannot patent nature. That's another big one. You cannot patent nature. So essential oils are really cool. There's the reason why there's no addictions also is because they're so, you know, there's so many variables. Every plant has a little bit different constitution, right? So anyway, let's talk about On Guard. On Guard is the, like, preventative healthcare in a little bottle, okay? This is a blend of cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, rosemary, and wild orange. It has so many uses, right? Promotes healthy immune function. It's really soothing for a sore throat, any sore, like, oral health, like sore teeth or anything like this. It's cleansing for the home, for the body, for the hands. doTERRA actually has created a whole cleaning line with this. You can DIY your own, which we have a whole resource library showing you how to do that. But it's pretty cool to know that this little oil, has anyone heard of Steve's oil actually? Yeah, Erica's heard of it. No, okay. So back when there was the plague, like many, many, many years ago, remember those guys with bird masks? They had like these weird masks on. So the story is, and that's how Steve's oil, which is very similar to On Guard, except Steve's has lemon instead of orange. The story is that the reason why these guys didn't get sick when they were out like robbing people's houses is because they packed the masks full of herbs like clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary, all those types of herbs in this mask, and that's why they didn't. That's the story of how Steve's got its name. So it's kind of interesting. So On Guard is one that we use every single day preventatively. We have a roller by the kids' bed. I put it on the bottoms of their feet and on their back every night before bed. There are hand sanitizers everywhere, obviously. We take our soft gels. On Guard is like a big, big oil to have on hand for sure, especially right now. So first cool thing, they're safe for everybody. Second cool thing, they're effective. Third cool thing, they're super affordable. Okay, so I'm from Canada. We, like Erica's living in Canada, we have quote unquote free medical, right? Okay, so, but what does that mean? And then living here in Costa Rica, do I have free medical? No, I don't have free medical. So I don't want it to just mean like a monetary amount either. I mean, if I'm, thinking back maybe a year ago in Canada, I'm a single mom, 2 small kids. If one of my kids had an ear infection, for example, okay, had an ear infection, I needed to take both my little kids in my car to the doctor, sit in the doctor's office, try to get, that time and energy spent in the doctor's office with 2 little kids. And meanwhile, never mind if it's now in the pandemic, right? We don't even want to go near the doctors. Anyway, we're there. Okay, we get the prescription. We go get the prescription filled for the prescription. I get like a little part of it reimbursed. And then from there, I go home, I give my son or whoever had the ear infection, the prescription for however many days. And then that's it. Maybe it goes away, right? But think of all the energy I spent, you guys know what I mean. The energy, the time, the stress, and then never mind, think about what his gut's doing. How does your gut and your bacteria, flora, and your intestines respond to an antibiotic? You guys know that, right? Like, it's very detrimental on your gut. So what are we doing when we're using essential oils? I have a solution in my home for pretty much anything that we need. That's pretty comforting, whether you're a mom or not, right? And I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to rely on anyone else. So we're talking about when they're affordable, that's pretty big, right? Affordable is in, yeah, they're saving you money because they cost like pennies per drop. And I have 250 drops in my little lavender bottle, right? There's more than one use for each of the oils. You probably noticed peppermint has like 150 uses. On Guard has more than that, right? So it's pretty cool. 3 cool things about essential oils: they're safe, they're effective, they're affordable. Lavender, we didn't really talk about that, so let's cover that for a sec. This is like the Swiss Army knife of oils. That's what I like to call it, because you literally have this oil, you can use it for pretty much everything. Calming for the mind, calming for the skin. It's an awesome antihistamine. So meaning if you get stung by a bee or anything like that, this is an awesome oil, okay? So let's talk about 3 ways you use them. Aromatically, topically, and internally. This is very unique to doTERRA, and I just want to reiterate again, please do not use your other oils that might not even be pure oils internally or even topically like we suggest here. So let's talk first about aromatically. The fastest way to experience an essential oil, if you have one near, just take the lid off, give it a smell. That's the fastest way to experience an essential oil. We're positively affecting the mood because as soon as we inhale, those tiny molecules are binding with receptors in the olfactory nerve and being sent to our limbic brain. That's the part of our brain where our emotions, our hormones, our hunger, our life is determined, right? But it's also the part of our brain that we do not have a lot of control over. Okay, so that's really interesting because when we utilize our essential oils, we can actually access a part of our brain that normally we can't really control. So what does that mean? We can positively affect the mood by putting on our diffuser, by putting our, just by smelling our essential oil, by making ourselves a little blend to use, whatever it is to inhale the aromatics of the essential oil, okay? This helps to shift our energy, shift our mood, like I mentioned, change the tone of the atmosphere of the day, whatever it is, okay? Helps to cleanse the air, support the respiratory system, obviously. So aromatically is really important in my house. Like I mentioned, I have 2 small kids, but also for myself. I come from Canada where it's dark most of the year. It's dark, it's, wet and kind of like snowy and cold. Lots of people stay inside, a lot of the year. Outside in summer, it's different, but in the winter, we have a long winter. So I diffuse things like wild orange, balance, lemon, grapefruit, all of the uplifting citrus oils are always in my diffuser. Here we have more On Guard because we're cleansing the air, right? But also the cool thing is that when you're diffusing, anyone who walks into my house or comes near is also reaping the benefit. Okay, so instead of, having a friend come over and be like, oh, wait, I'm gonna put On Guard all over you because there's a global pandemic going on. I've got On Guard going on in my diffuser all the time, and they're inhaling it. That's helping their body's natural immune system to be stronger as well. Pretty cool. And never mind my kids, right? That's also a benefit. Pets, everybody benefiting. Topical use. generally for localized benefits, okay? So for example, if you have a sore knee, you're gonna put your oils on topically on your knee, right? You're gonna maybe give it a massage with some coconut oil is awesome. I love fractionated coconut oil. If you can find it, you can buy it through doTERRA too. It just stays liquid. It's a little less fatty, less greasy. And you know, in a hot country like Costa Rica, it doesn't really matter, but it doesn't have a smell. Okay, this is kind of cool. So when you're applying topically, dilution is really important, and that's something that you'll learn. Like if someone's to get oils, this is what they learn. Specific dilution guides for yourself and for your family too. But basically, like adults, you can dilute, right? I didn't dilute with that Easy Air, that Breeze that I put on, and with peppermint, I generally don't dilute. Lavender, I don't really dilute, but the benefits of diluting are helps the oil stay in place longer. Okay, so when you put an oil on, it's as soon as you even open the bottle, right? It's evaporating. They're so volatile. So when you put it on, they're evaporating. So when we use a carrier oil, it helps us to stay in place longer, right? It helps to lessen the possible skin sensitivity. So for example, if it's On Guard and you're using it topically, this is a spicy oil. It's a little warm. So you got the cinnamon, the clove in there. So when you're using it topically, you know, just dilute it a little bit, and then you don't feel that warming sensation as much. You want some water, Sequoia? There you go. So what else with dilution? With kids, you're going to want to dilute, obviously babies, obviously people with sensitive skin, maybe dilute a little bit more. Always dilute with hot oils as well. If you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute or like I said in the chat there.
Yeah, I have a question, Jocelyn. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Just a question from the very beginning. Is the name of the company is doTERRA. What does Do mean, and what's the significance of that?
That's a good one. It's from the earth.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
From the earth. So Do, it's in Latin.
Oh,
It means
okay.
from the earth. So our kind of slogan is like their gift from the earth.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then I had another comment. Some of my work with my company is about healing yourself, but also the environment. And one of the problems in America is that, like you're saying, everybody's taking antibiotics or taking drugs, and they either process the drugs and urinate them out. So we have a huge amount of estrogen and antibiotics going into the water supply, into the ocean. And so I really like what you're saying about the oils. You know, yes, all the expense and all that stuff, but this is a natural thing and it's in balance with nature that way, right? And the second part of that thing is I'm here because I'm trying to heal from being misprescribed, misdiagnosed. I was given an antibiotic called Cipro, and it just did terrible things to my body. And so I like what you're saying. That's all. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, thank you for sharing. We're going to get more into into a few more oils that might really help with and support your body in that as well. It's scary, right? It's kind of scary, but slowly we're finding more and more people are turning to natural alternatives, including medical professionals, which is a big deal. doTERRA actually has like medical centers that are like whole body, where you can go and have an appointment with a medical doctor that utilizes modern medicine and this type of medicine as well, holistic medicine. So that's a big deal too, because there's a time and a place, obviously, you know, for modern medicine, but there's also a time and a place to be a little bit more, first defense in your home, in your own hands, you know. And I think it's beautiful when we can kind of merge them together and support our bodies where they're needed, for sure. Okay, so let's continue on. The third way we use these oils is internally. So doTERRA actually really suggests that we use the oils internally because we get the full benefit that way. And let me just show you a few ways that I like to use my oils internally. So in my drinking water, I have a metal water bottle full of stickers from the kids, but metal water bottle has citrus oils in it all the time. Okay, you can use glass, you can use metal, don't use plastic, okay? The reason being is that essential oils, well, in general, we should not be using plastic for much of anything, but essential oils actually break down plastic. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that the reason why we don't want to drink out of plastic is because it's going to break down some of the plastic and we'll ingest it. But also, when we're drinking our citrus oils, this is removing petrochemicals and plastic from our body. This is huge because if we can start our day every morning, this is how I do anyway, is I wake up, you know, I do a few maybe movements, a little bit of gentle yoga. I take a big drink of water, fresh water, with my citrus oils. Before anything else, I just help to detox and flush my body out, okay? The citrus oils are, you know, there's wild orange, grapefruit, lime, lemon, all different types. So it's not the same thing every day. And I kind of just feel into what I'm feeling for that moment. And throughout the day, every time I fill up my water bottle, I add a citrus oil. Just 1 drop or 2 drops for my water bottle here. Okay, so yeah, some of the oils taste amazing. Citrus oils are fantastic. They help to support your body's metabolism where it's at. Okay, so if you're overactive or underactive metabolism, it helps to bring it back to balance and homeostasis. They help to gently detox the body, like I mentioned. It helps to support the kidneys and the lymphatic system, which is also great. So that's our body's natural detox system. So it helps to remove like waste from the body. But some of them don't taste very good. Okay, so have you guys tried oil of oregano? You guys know what oil of oregano is. It's not that tasty, right? You got to remember, like, that oil of oregano is actually diluted. So on the bottle, that's why you can take it under your tongue like that. So if you think of a pure, nothing added, nothing taken away, essential oil oregano, it's a big deal, okay? That's known as like nature's, like the big guns of nature's immune support, okay? So that one, you're not gonna just wanna take a drop under your tongue. You might, it might be uncomfortable, right? So what we do instead is we take our veggie capsules. What they are is a little like veggie, you guys have seen with, you know, a vitamin or something comes in, it's a capsule. So we get empty ones. You can buy them through doTERRA. Costa Rica, doTERRA does not have them at this moment. You open up the top, put your oils in, and you close it up, and you take it like that. So you're making your own medicine, in essence, right? So with that, you can do things like, you know, you can make your own, I like to call it a flu bomb. I have this concoction of 5 different oils that I use in that. If I'm feeling like I might be getting something, or might be just starting to feel like my body needs a little bit more support, I'll take a couple of drops of On Guard, a couple of drops of lemon, we'll talk about lemon more in a second here, and a couple drops of oregano, and maybe a couple drops of frankincense. Those 4 are amazing at supporting the body's natural systems and just giving you that extra boost. Okay, so that's just an example. Another one that we like to take internally, that I love to take internally, is Zengest. This is the digestive blend. Okay, so it's packed full of digestive herbs. I think it's delicious because I like black licorice, okay? It does have that like a licorice flavor because it has anise and fennel. But this is one that some people do not like the taste of, okay? So by putting it under your tongue, I'm fine with doing that because I don't mind the taste. But if you don't like the taste, you put in a veggie capsule, okay? So that's the gist of internal. How do you know if you can take it internally? You read the label, you do a little bit of research, and over time, I know in the beginning it's a little overwhelming, but like I mentioned, like as soon as your oils come, we get together, we go through each one, we make up a little like schedule of how you're gonna use them. Okay, well, it'll turn on, buddy. It's okay. They're watching a show while I'm working. We'll go swimming soon, okay? It'll turn on soon, buddy. Okay, so where was I? One sec, buddy. Okay, I don't remember where I was at. But that's the gist. We'll talk about lemon in a little bit here. That's the 3 ways you use the oils. Oh yeah, how do you know if you can use them? That's where I was at. Okay, so you basically read the bottle, you do a little bit of your research, and when your oils come, you know how to use them, we go through them. Okay. Did you have a question there, Peter?
So you're talking about the cells, about oils can penetrate the cell wall. So that's semi-permeable, right? And we're talking about taking internally. But if you just put it topically on the skin, will it penetrate the skin as well? And would it get to the lymphatic system that way?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a really good question because it is a really good idea. Like, it's nice to use them both. If somebody is like, I don't feel comfortable using the oils internally when they're first starting, nothing wrong with that. Okay. And I would encourage people to go with their natural, like whatever you feel comfortable doing. There's a little bit of safety to remember though. Citrus oils are sun sensitive. So here in Costa Rica, we don't use our citrus oils on our skin. Okay.
Wow.
If you put them on your, on your stomach or something underneath your clothing and you're not going to take off your shirt for 12 hours in the sun, totally fine. But when I first moved here, actually, I love bergamot oil. Bergamot is, do you know what a bergamot fruit is?
No.
It's kind of like a cross between I want to say like a grapefruit and a tangerine. Bergamot is really nice. So do you know what Earl Grey tea is?
Yes.
Earl Grey has that like citrus, like kind of like a citrus undertone. Earl Grey has bergamot in it, okay? Anyway, I love bergamot oil because it's the oil of self-love, self-acceptance. And I used to put it a couple drops in my hand, okay, just as you do, right? And then the oil ran down my hand one day, and I didn't really think too much about it, but as oils would, right? And I used to put it through my hair because your hair is a really nice diffuser. And as I was doing that, I saw it run down my hand, and I had a little bit of alarms going off because I say this pretty much every day. Don't use citrus oils topically in the sun. And I went on my day and I developed a little bit of like a red, I thought something bit me. It was so itchy. And I was like, wow, I'm not sure what's going on. And then it kept growing over like days. It kept growing. And every time I go into the sun, it'd get a little redder. And it took over like my whole, I have a couple of pictures on my Instagram about it, my whole hand. And it took over a month to heal.
Jeez.
Okay, so it's really important to not use citrus oils in the sun.
Wow.
And that did that along with test, right? Putting bergamot over your heart and then goes and sits in the sun, and you're like, wow. So it's not just the sun, it's also tanning beds and any UV light. So it's tricky, but that's the rule of thumb is you do not use citrus oils topically in a warm country or in Canada in the summertime. So saying that, I absolutely love them in the diffuser, love them in my water, but yes, avoid the sun. Okay, so since we're on the topic of safety, I'm going to tell you one more thing. Macaulay can. I can tell you one more thing about safety. There's 3 places you never want to put your oils. You can get it. Okay. Macaulay can get it. There's 3 places you never want to put your oils. In your nose, in your eyes, and in your ears, okay? So Macaulay's got it, buddy. Go look. So the reason being is that we have obviously sensitive membranes. It's going to feel not so nice in the eyes, right? So if you got oils in your eyes, what's your instinct telling you to do? Anyone want to share?
Water.
Right? That's what everybody says, and this is why we talk about it. So water and oil don't mix. Water is actually going to drive it in deeper. So instead, if you ever get oils in your eyes or a hot oil on your body, like even deep blue is like our muscle rub. This is something that some people get in places that they don't want to get, right? And they go have a shower. It's not a good idea because it drives it in deeper and it makes it very uncomfortable. So instead you want to grab a carrier oil. So a carrier oil is like what we talked about topically. It's your fractionated coconut oil, it's your whatever kind of carrier oil you have on hand. If it's olive oil, avocado oil, whatever you want, put it in your eyes. Like literally, not even kidding, put it in your eyes and take a dry cloth or a dry towel and wipe it away. It's not gonna like destroy your eyes by any means. It's only gonna feel uncomfortable for a minute or so. It's the more, if it's still feeling uncomfortable after the first time, just put a little bit more coconut oil in your eyes and then wipe it away, okay? This especially happens if you have small people. Okay, so the same with hot oils. If you have a hot oil on your skin and it's feeling like it's burning, like oregano or On Guard, or even if your skin's a little sensitive, put more carrier oil on it, okay? Don't go wash it off. Okay, so if you get oils in your eyes, do not rinse them with water. All right, so the second thing is up the nose. Obviously, you have some membranes, but if you have some congestion, totally put some oils on your nose here. Peppermint there is amazing, right? And then ears, the oils are great support. I didn't remember when I told you that story. If my kid had an ear infection, we have to go to the doctor. What we actually do for ear infections is grab my lavender and my tea tree, okay? And sometimes copaiba or basil, depending on the severity. So what we do is we take our lavender, rub it around the ear, okay? Take our tea tree, rub it around. Since they'll be on the kid, I'm gonna dilute a little bit. And then that really, with that downward motion, helps to drain them. And then I put a drop of each on the little cotton ball, and I put it right in their ear like this, put them to bed. 12 hours later or less, they're totally feeling fine, okay? So how cheap is that? How fast is that? That's also really how you use oils with the ear, is you really want to put them around the ear, okay? Avoid putting oils in your ear. Same with the eyes. If someone has pink eye, you can put oils around the eyes, just heavily diluted, right? We absorb so much right into our eyes, right around that bone, okay? So there's your safety. What I want you guys to do now is, as we go through these next few oils, I want you to kind of take a quick summary of like, okay, these are the 3 things that I'm looking at supporting first with essential oils. There's 3 things that are kind of on your mind, and hopefully we'll cover them in this next little while here, or we can kind of find solutions for them together. Okay. Sure. Just give me 1 sec while you guys are writing those down. I'm gonna solve the problem. Okay. Hopefully you have your 3 kind of written down, or your ideas there. Let's continue on. Okay. So lemon oil, we talked about before. This is a cleanser for your body and your home, or both. Basically, aromatically, topically, internally. It can be used topically, but again, remember that sun sensitivity, okay? I don't really have a need to use lemon topically personally. This is a great degreaser, okay? So if you think of this in your body, it's like degreasing, which is awesome, okay? So when you're cleaning, if you use, unscented dish soap or castile soap for cleaning, you can add in your citrus oils for extra degreasing, okay? Anything to add on lemon oil? Do you want to share your favorite way to use lemon, Erica? What did you say?
I've been putting it in my water every morning, and I love it.
Lemon's actually my favorite right now in my water. So like, it's fresh. So something I didn't mention too is the citrus oils come from the rind. They don't come from the juice. So they're not acidic. They're not breaking down the enamel on your teeth. This is huge. They're really high in something called limonene. You heard of limonene before? Limonene is like, people supplement limonene. It's really, really beneficial for your body, pretty much anti-preventative most things. Pretty awesome. So lemon oil is a big one. Frankincense, you heard me talk about this before. This is it's known as the king of oils, okay? It comes from Somalia. It's pretty cool the way it's sourced. It's like a little resin from a tree, okay? Promotes calm feeling, anti-aging, helps cells perform optimally, okay? So there's a lot of studies done on frankincense on PubMed, if you're into research and kind of studies and that sort of thing. That show that frankincense is really good at supporting natural cell functions, life and death, and healthy cells, okay? So using it topically, this is also known as I think it's the oil of truth. The oil of truth, a lot of people utilize this oil in meditation and other spiritual practices. It helps us to connect into ourselves and to divine, whatever that means to you. Frankincense is a really powerful oil, okay? Aromatically, topically, internally, I love to take my frankincense just to drop under my tongue in the morning, just to help with just supporting and balancing and grounding and coming back to center. That's my favorite way to use it. I also like to apply just a little drop right here whenever I need to come back to center as well during meditation, yoga. This is a really popular and super sacred oil. Digestin we talked about. Digestin is already is also known as Zengest. Okay, in Costa Rica and Canada, it's Zengest. It's basically your solution, your answer to any sort of digestive anything, any digestive pain. Okay, whether it be heartburn, you know, indigestion, you ate something wrong, you ate too much, you have a mild stomach bug or whatever, motion sickness, nausea, bloating, all the things. Okay. So use it at mealtime for improved digestion. If people struggle with digestive issues, they tend to use it maybe even in their water. Some people love the taste of it and they just drink it throughout the day in their water. Aromatically, topically, internally. When the kids have stomach stuff going on, I have a roller made up already and we just roll it on their belly button, massage, clockwise motion. Erica, do you use this much with your daughter?
A couple times I have, but she hasn't really had much for issues.
That's awesome. Okay, I loved it when my kids were like, you know, transitioning into eating food and eliminating and things like that. Pretty sweet. It's such a good oil, and it's one I take it actually in my little, show you my little thing here. This I have with me pretty much everywhere I go. It's like little oil drams, but I have my Zengest in there every time because it's literally, if someone has a tummy ache, ate something wrong, whatever, there we go. Through on the belly button or under the tongue. Deep Blue is the one I was talking about before. It's our sore muscle. This has wintergreen in there, camphor, what else is in there? Peppermint. It's super soothing. So if you know things like Voltaren or A535 or those like icy cold rubs, this is your non-toxic, supernatural version of it. Okay, this is really cool to use aromatically and topically. So topically, you're gonna want to give it a little massage and a little dilution. Okay, this is one that's really important in our house too. We also have like a non-toxic lotion-based one. And then Breathe, that's the one I used instead of peppermint because I can't find my peppermint. Breathe is your respiratory blend. As you can see, there's kind of like, when I said I have a solution in my home for pretty much everything, you can see that each of these oils takes over a big amount of things, right? Breathe is like your Vicks Vapor Rub. It's basically like anything to do with respiratory. Again, aromatically, topically, great for supporting a deep night's sleep because it helps to open the airways and help the body to rest fully. If you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, put in a diffuser. It's great to open the airways. Okay, so reevaluating. You have a question? Yep.
I do, Justin. So with the coronavirus, any insight here with this oil?
With the Breathe oil. Yeah. So, I mean, On Guard is going to be our big player, right? That's one that I use every single day. Me and Andy, my partner, actually take our soft gels. It's like a little soft gel capsule from doTERRA that has On Guard. It has Melissa. It has black pepper. Melissa is lemon balm. It's an incredible, incredible oil, but it's basically, that's number one, is supporting your body's natural immune system. And then if you're feeling, I mean, when we've been out and about, or if we've been, you know, with a friend, or if we've been in contact with someone, like Andy's in San Jose, I'm like, when you come back today, you are, you know, it's all about just that preventative healthcare in all of us, right? So, and then from that, then we can take a look at our respiratory system as well. So this is really going to support any sort of respiratory discomfort at all. Again, using topically or topically or aromatically. This one's not for internal use, but yeah, that's a really good question. I feel like we're kind of accustomed to treating symptoms. Do you feel like that too? From the medical system we're kind of trained in?
Hey,
we're like,
see the, excuse me.
Yeah.
See the oil there? Put some around your ear when it hurts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she just talked about it. It's going to fix that. Am I muted? Am I muted? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's no worries. Okay, so yeah, that was a great question. So anyway, moving forward, does anyone have any questions about maybe something we didn't cover? There's also an opportunity if you want to get more into specific scenarios. We can meet one-on-one too if you want to go in and go through some things. That's totally an option. But does anyone have a question or something, you know, I have this going on, what do you suggest for this? Sequoia, go put the kitty by the tree. Okay.
I do have a question. So you talked about the penetration to the limbic brain, the old brain. And in a lot of yoga, that's the real goal, is to get to the sympathetic system and get down in there. Is there a particular oil you were talking about, or is it all the oils?
All of them. So anything you're using aromatically, that's a really good question. Like, because for an example, if you walk into a spa and you feel, you smell, you know, you smell the ambience of the room, you see kind of the ambience, that's kind of the idea, is like you instantly almost feel more relaxed. So it's a similar idea with the oils, is that when we're smelling them, it's like an instant. Can you turn the TV off if you're not watching it, please? Let's go swimming. Why don't you go swimming? Anyway, that's a really good question. I mean, I personally, when I teach yoga, like I mentioned yesterday, I absolutely incorporate more than one oil into our practice, because I really feel like it does help support and take us into a deeper place in our own bodies, and also just helps our mind to come to a different place as well. So that's really interesting. Super cool. So I'm going to show you guys one more thing. Erica knows all about these already. This is basically, so doTERRA, yes, they are creating the highest quality essential oils, highest purity essential oils in the world. They're also, you know, they recognize that wellness is an inside job, right? This foundation needs to be in place in order for our bodies to be working and functioning properly. So we can try to eat an organic, biodynamic, plant-based diet all day long. That's awesome. That's, of course, the foundation of wellness is our nutrition and what we are absorbing into our bodies, not just digesting. But these are what's going to help, and what does help me personally, fill in any nutrition gaps, okay? So this is basically a three-part trio that work almost synergistically together to help support the body's natural systems, okay? So they include essential oils, incredible ingredients like turmeric or curcuminoids and frankincense and incredible stuff, okay? So this is really cool, and especially I'm gonna say, living in Costa Rica, and especially in this tiny town, and how hard it is to get good quality stuff here. It's pretty cool to know that, like, I can still get my doTERRA here, all my cleaning products and my vitamins and all the things I need to support my wellness, instead of shopping at the Chinese store or Samar Organics all the time, where it's very limited. Okay, so Microplex VMZ is your whole food multivitamin and mineral complex. Alpha-CRS is your antioxidant, cellular energy, and longevity. So this is helping fuel your mitochondria in your cells, your energy centers. This is, the next one's your XE Omega. So this has your 3, 6, 9 fatty acids and 9 essential oils. There is a plant-based version available in the States, okay, not in Costa Rica or Canada, but there's ways we can get it, okay? So antioxidant and DNA protection, eye, brain, nervous system. There is so many benefits to these, it's kind of crazy. I find that for me, I was looking for more mental clarity, literally just filling in the gaps, emotional support, immune function, stress management, and also a better sleep. So this kind of just really supports my body. And if you're building a house and you have a poor foundation, your house is not gonna last very long. But with this, having a strong foundation and then building your house on top of that strong foundation, that's where you're going to have long-lasting residual health, right? Okay, so utilizing these with the essential oils, they help your body. If your body has a strong point of balance, this is really going to be a big deal when you're talking about health. If you have a shaky balance, not a really clear sense of balance or a strong foundation, it's going to be a little bit harder for the oils to support your natural body system of balance. Okay, so anyway, these are just another support system that are super popular. #1 product, 30-day money-back guarantee. There's really zero risk. So I basically start almost everybody with these, with their oils, because they're looking at true wellness, right? Okay, so any questions about this? I know there's a ton of information.
I'm sorry, I have one, just to make it. So I see with the Alpha CRS that it promotes longevity. And you had another oil previously that was specifically for about anti-aging. Can you talk about what it does anti-aging wise? What that claim is kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
What is it about the oils?
Frankincense. So that longevity is actually because Alpha CRS actually has frankincense in it, and that like actual frankincense resin, and that's the one that has the curcuminoids and like the turmeric and things like that. So frankincense as an oil in itself is like jam-packed, but there's a lot of science behind that oil. It's basically, what I understand it to be, is it's supporting the cells, because you know how a baby's skin is so soft, for example, because their skin cells are constantly turning over. As we age, our skin begins to get a little rougher, a little less soft, and maybe even like a little less elastic, right?
You think?
When we are utilizing things like frankincense, and also things like, you know, dry skin brushing to help encourage the cells to slough off and help that healthy turnover, that's the idea, is that we are not just leaving dead cells in our body, or we are not, because if you can think of like a cell life and death, it slows down as we age. And so that longevity kind of helps to really support, keep it at a normal rate. So
thank you.
Yeah, I can send you another, like a link on more information on that, because I think it's kind of cool to see and to learn about.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so the next little section here, oh, there's one more little video. I wonder, would you guys, it's a sourcing video about Arbor Vitae or Arbor Vitae. It comes from the West Coast in Canada. It's really interesting. It's actually one of my favorite oils, but I'd love to show you guys the sustainability aspect of doTERRA. Co-impact sourcing is really cool and really powerful, but the sourcing of pretty much all of the oils, especially this one, is really fascinating. So I'm gonna press play on this one. I think it's about a few minutes long here. It comes from where I'm from in Canada.
My traditional name is Wasiltil, and I come from Sta'elis. It's an honor for me to be here today, and just wanted to explain what the cedar tree means to us and how it's so important to us in our way of life. Chapay is the name of our ancestor, and he was always giving of himself. So if he seen that somebody was struggling with a basket of salmon, he would help that person pack that salmon into the longhouse. If there was an elderly person that was walking, you know, he would help that person get to where he or she was going. And so he lived his entire life in this way, giving of himself. And you know, traditionally we never buried our loved ones. We would actually build a platform up high in a tree as an offering to the Creator. But it all changed one day, and it had to do with Chapay. The families actually were instructed to bury their loved one.
My name is Nathan Jans, and I am an owner of the only distillery in the world that is producing giant Arbor Vitae oil. And this oil is really special because it is sustainably sourced from the giant Arbor Vitae tree that exists in the temperate rainforests of the Pacific Northwest. We tie into an existing industry, the timber industry, that's been here for decades and decades. and are part of a highly managed and sustainable timber industry. We source our raw material from the timber companies that are producing wood products, shaken shingles, structural timber, finishing lumber, and we take that sawdust, the waste product that they used to burn in previous decades, and we extract these valuable and unique essential oil chemicals out of the waste biomass from that. We pay very special attention to the detail of the whole process, right from the sourcing of the sawdust, through its handling in our yard where it's all covered and kept out of the elements, to the treating of it, pure water to steam distill it, straight through our process vessels, and collect the oil, separate that out of the water. The waste sawdust from the process we then load into a bin that gets brought back to paper mills.
For a wood oil, it's amazing in that it has high ester content, which you don't see in any other wood oils. So there's a lot of unique properties with it, and the odor is unlike anything else that you'll see. Arbor vitae literally means the tree of life. Part of the reason probably for that name coming to be is because the tree lives such a long time. Some of the trees still alive right now are over 800 years old.
We're very excited to be working with doTERRA in the bringing of the giant arbor vitae oil to the markets, and we have a lot of respect for the team that is moving doTERRA forward, and their attention to detail and their focus on quality. We've gone to a lot of trouble of having a top-notch plant that is producing the finest quality essential oil, and we wouldn't want to be working with anybody else.
In my language, we say shwali. Shwali is that life force, that spirit in us that makes us who we are. And that spirit, that shwali, lives on, in the form of a tree.
So that's pretty cool, knowing that they get the sawdust. Okay, forestry is happening if we like it or not, right? They get the sawdust from the forestry that's happening, and they distill the sawdust, and then after the distillation process, they give the pulp back to paper mills to make paper. Okay, so that's really cool, knowing that, this is just one of the examples of many of the sustainability aspects within doTERRA that's, I think, really, really important. Okay, so going forward, I'm going to show you guys the 3 ways to purchase doTERRA. You probably saw, the first one's retail. You probably saw oils around in the stores, and that's the most expensive way to purchase the oils. You might have also noticed that the owner of the store did not message you and say, how's this oil going? Or how's that ear infection you really wanted to support? How's that going? I was thinking about you today. How's your son? Or whatever it is. That's something that really is unique to doTERRA. Okay, the second way to purchase is wholesale. You guys know what Costco is, or Sam's Club. This is basically what it is. It's like you have your own membership, your own online shop. You get 25% off, which is pretty awesome. You get all your education for free with your oils. So wholesale is great, but there's a better way. Number 3 is wholesale. That it's actually below wholesale, I like to call it, because it's starting with a package of oils, a group of oils that are specific to your needs and your budget. It's below wholesale already, and you get your membership for free. All of your education is included, okay? So this is kind of cool. And of course, we have an optional loyalty rewards program. That's what I do. It's kind of like, it turns into a lifestyle. You earn points and things like that, but we talk about that more later. So basically what you can expect, like I've been mentioning the whole time, is that doTERRA is a little bit different. You get a little welcome package, like a little, a few blending tools. You get a full consultation. We sit down together and we go through your oils. You learn all about them. We literally write up a schedule for you, how you're going to use them, whatever you need, right? Some people like a step-by-step. Some people, when they have their oils and they have a general guideline on how to use them, they create their own kind of routine or ritual. You get access into our education group. We have continuing education, which is super duper valuable, every week, Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. It's recorded. This is super awesome because this is a basic class, right? You learn the basics. But the step 2 is continuing education, where you learn things like, stress, sleep, and hormones. We learn things like green cleaner, toxic-free living. We learn oils for every age, so how to actually use oils for every age group. Many, many different topics. We have 8 different topics that rotate consistently. And then if you come to all 8 of those, you get a gift from us as well as a little certification for completing the continuing education. So anyway, that's just one of the education platforms we have. So much community, all the things, ongoing support. We're just starting an essential oil study, our first ever study on next Saturday. It's starting. So that's also an option to join into as well. So that's the basic gist of it. I'm going to take you through a few little packages, okay, and give you some kind of idea of what you're looking at here. So this one is the Healthy Start, available in Canada and the States. In Costa Rica, it comes without the diffuser. It's 76,000-ish colones, and it comes with another oil called the Metabolic Blend. So that's cool. This kit is great because you have 10 oils to work with. The only downside to this is, I would say, is that I actually started with this package because that's what my budget allowed at the time. Totally fine. It's a smaller bottle. Okay, they're 5 ml. So if you are going to invest in oils, yes, your membership comes free, but I would more suggest something like one of the other packages because they have bigger bottles. This one is for someone who wants to start. It's only available in Canada and the States. Someone who wants to start with that foundation first. You're looking at probiotics that are double encapsulated. They're actually going to make it into your gut. You're looking at Terrazyme, which is your digestive enzyme that are helping to break down food, right? You're actually absorbing. So this is a great package for foundational wellness. This is our top seller in Canada and the States. In Costa Rica, it looks a little different. We have another package with the top 10 oils, the same as in this one. These are known as the top 10, okay? And so this one is in the 15 ml size, so the bigger bottles. Deep Blue is always in the 5 ml, by the way. But this is an awesome option because it's 161 colones with an awesome diffuser. I have in my kitchen, and it runs for 12 hours. So these are some options for you guys that are super, super, like this one is my top seller for sure. And in Costa Rica, the Home Essentials is called, it's awesome. Okay, so these are a couple other options for someone who's looking to fully green out their house. The On Guard line and top 10 oils. This is natural solutions, like literally just start fresh with everything, totally detoxing, right? So, and then there's this option that's also available in Costa Rica, that's the Simple Solutions. It's kind of like an add-on package. All of these are great because you get your membership for free, right? You get that, I think it's 16,000 colones or 42 Canadian dollars, which is the membership, and it gets you everything you need for a year. Renewal is, I think it's 13,000 colones. In Canada, it's 35 or maybe $35, I think, with the peppermint oil for free. Anyway, there's so many options. So as you can see, there's literally a starting place for any budget. And those of you, because I am anybody that has a certain specific budget, we can totally work together and talk about that and what you're looking for. So what we're going to talk about in a second here, before we close out, is a little option to share these oils with people that you might have been thinking about as we went through this. So I've always loved to teach online classes, or especially right now, but globally, we can reach people globally online like this, right? So if you know people who would like to learn this about the essential oils, this is also an awesome option. So moving right into the 3 types of people, you guys are here because you are open to learning more about the wellness lifestyle, right? You want to maybe you want to move away from synthetics. Peter, you directly said, like, I'm detoxing, right? I'm moving away from this, like that happened to me, right? We're all starting with the wellness lifestyle, okay? And even moving into the premise of sharing essential oils, I think we talked about this briefly, is like, in order to share anything, we need to first be like absolutely loving and living it, right? So that's kind of what happens as we go through a little workshop or class like this. Sometimes you've been thinking as we went through, oh, this person totally needs to know this, this person needs to know this, I can incorporate this into my work, whatever it is. Sharing to get your oils paid for even with just the intention to help other people, right? Help other people to discover natural health care in their own homes, right? And then from there, some people look at this, the third option, to build a business, to earn an income and make an impact. So talk about passion-driven work. This is exactly what doTERRA is for me and has been for the past 4 years. So anyway, this is kind of like the wrap up of the class. Normally what I do going forward is just share a little bit of statistics and kind of like a little bit more of my story. You're welcome to stick around. If you don't want to stick around, that's totally fine. I'm going to go through it. It'll probably take another, where are we at, 10 minutes or so, but if you choose not to stick around, totally fine. Thank you so much for coming. It's so good to see you guys. Erica, are you going to stick around? You got your baby?
Yeah, I think I got to head out here. But
okay.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, good to see you, and we'll see you soon, probably Tuesday.
See ya.
Hey, have an awesome weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, Erica.
Bye.
Justin, I think what I would like to do, if it's all right, I do have to go, but I'd like to hear more about this some other time. So maybe I can catch up later. Would that be all right? Okay. Because I do think there's definitely something in my business that there's a bridge here, and I like this. I really like it for my longevity workshops and so forth, and I could really sell it there. So I do want to talk to you more about it, and maybe you can help me customize my market.
Okay, that sounds great. Let's get together next week. You can send me a message. I can also send you the recording of this. Actually, I'm going to continue on the business side, and then I can send you the link on YouTube.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, everyone, let's get into the joy of sharing essential oils. This is actually a topic that I'm even more passionate about sharing than talking about the oils themselves, which is kind of crazy. They definitely go hand in hand, but I absolutely love talking about sharing oils with other people because I cannot stop talking about essential oils. If you've met me in person, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. Okay, so before we get right into it, let's talk about what residual income is, because especially right now in this day and age, in this global pandemic we're going through, hopefully we've gone through soon here, it's really, really important. And for me, it's always been one of my life goals is to have more time. And I'm sure all of you watching this recording can relate to that, okay? You can totally relate to wanting to have more time, wanting to have ownership over your time, and having residual income, okay? Beyond that, you guys can probably tell that this whole time we've been talking about heart-centered work. We've been talking about how passionate, aligned action, aligned work is the whole premise of doTERRA, okay? So making residual income from helping hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people live a better life. Pretty cool. Let's talk about it. You'll hear this story a lot through doTERRA. Is actually, there's this man who's hauling buckets of water for a living. Okay, if he wanted to make more money, he would just work longer hours. If he got sick or got injured, he would have to take a day off and he would not get paid for his efforts, okay, because he was not literally working. So for a lot of us, excuse me, this is directly depicting our 9-to-5 job. This is directly showing us, you know, our 9 to 5. If we're not there doing the work, we're not going to get paid. So this guy had an idea, which I'm sure lots of you have had this idea, this little spark of inspiration. I wonder if there's a better way. I wonder if there's another way I can do this. He decided, what if I build a pipeline from the river to my village? Okay, it's going to take some work. I'm going to have to work longer hours. I can do this after. If I just haul enough buckets to cover my costs right now, my family's living wages or costs, I can just do this in my spare time. So he starts to build his pipeline, And over time, maybe it takes him a whole season to build this pipeline. He turns on the water and his village has unlimited water supply. Okay, so he's charging per bucket of water instead of hauling laboriously the buckets to the village every single day. Okay, so how many of you right now, I have a question for you. How many of you are hauling buckets of water to make an income? Right? So that's pretty much the majority, right? Majority is at 9 to 5. So let me share my story. These are my two little kids. Sequoia is my little girl. Macawi is my little boy. Macawi just turned 5. Sequoia just turned 3. They are my life, right? They are my everything. And when when I had my son, my life changed forever. Okay, forever. Before I had him, I was exploring more natural ways to care for myself during pregnancy, more natural ways to care for my body during birth and my new baby. No one had my answers. Hi. Sure. No one had my answers. Not even my midwife could tell me answers about to my questions about essential oils. But I had this calling. I'm like, there's got to be essential oils even that can support my birth process and whatever, my emotional wellness and all these things. No one had my answers. Okay, so I gave birth to my son completely naturally, all the things. He was born. I then had this like, oh my goodness, I now need some serious options. Okay, I'm not, I'm fine with, dealing with a headache or dealing with whatever it is, a stomach discomfort without doing anything about it, just, whatever, just dealing with it, right? But I would never want my baby to suffer. So that's when I was really looking for a real natural solution. Okay, it's not until he had his first little respiratory cough around like 7 months-ish that I was like, holy cow, I had to take him to the hospital. And then they were suggesting Motrin and like these things. And I was like, I don't want to put that in my body. I don't want to give it to my son. So luckily, I had my eyes wide open, right? And I was really, really looking. And my friend had these beautiful little bottles of essential oils on her website. And as soon as I laid my eyeballs on them, I said, I need to go to her house. She was like 8 hours away. I was like, I need to go to her house and I need to get my hands on these bottles for my healthcare, for myself and my child. I knew that was my answer. But also, further than that, I was actually a single mom. And I was looking for a way to support me and my baby. Okay, so when I saw those bottles, I said, this is my answer for all of my natural healthcare needs and my financial needs. Crazy, right? So cool. But anyway, fast forward, I had Sequoia a couple years later, in the middle of building my business. Again, as a single mom, I mean, my story's complicated for sure, but I was on my own. Shortly after getting pregnant with her. And then I'm literally building my business from my kitchen table with my newborn baby on my lap. During nap times, my son's sleeping, and I am in full on like making it happen, building our empire mode, okay? So, and when I'm saying that, what I was doing is helping other people live a natural lifestyle, helping other people get essential oils into their homes. So that's our story. Last year in September, so 2019, throughout the year last year, I had this idea of like, oh my gosh, my business is going really well. We can live anywhere in the world. Where do I want to go? And so I decided I want to go see Costa Rica with my kids because I had not been here in 10 years. And a lot had changed since then. So I decided that we were coming to Costa Rica in September. We came here the very end of September and have been like just loving living away from the snow, honestly. And we're having, we're onwards and upwards. Our team is growing more and more global every single day. I get to work with some incredible, influential people that are really making a massive impact in the world. So this year, this month, will be over 1,000 families directly impacted by my decision to say, let's do this. Let's share these oils because I can't even keep my mouth shut because more people and more families need to know about this. So there we are. That's a little summary. That's my story. So let's talk about why doTERRA. There's so many essential oil companies. There's so many direct selling companies like the hashtag digital nomad companies out there. Why doTERRA? We are the largest essential oil company in the world, right? most tested, most trusted oils in the market. That's huge. Used by doctors and hospitals worldwide. Ethically and sustainably sourced. Thanks, Freddie. I got my Play-Doh ice cream thing with hair and everything. Thank you, bud. I'll come play with you in a second, okay? So,
I look at all
that's awesome.
cars, noodles,
That's awesome. So you guys saw in the video previously, we talked about sustainability. I showed you a couple of videos on our co-impact sourcing. This is a big deal. And this is why I feel so comfortable and proud to share these oils. It's because they are completely sustainable and ethical and sourced all over the world. We're helping families all over the world, right? Okay, 120 markets open, meaning that 120 countries globally have direct access to these oils. That's huge. Compensation plan is absolutely genius. I'm going to show you a little glimpse in here in a second. Super high retention rate, okay? Highest in the industry even. High retention rate of over 65%. Customer loyalty, meaning that 65% of the people that are going to buy oils from you are going to buy again because of our community, because of our education, because they see the oils work, right? Privately owned company, incredible ownership team, debt-free with no outside funding. These are all huge. So you might have some questions. Okay, tell me, how much money, or how do I make money? How much time is involved? Could this work for me? And how do I do it? So how do I make money? It's super simple. We have basically different pathways that you choose, how fast, how slow, how you'd like to build your business, how you'd like to incorporate it into what you already do. We have those already laid out for you, and it's totally free. Everything comes with your membership, right? So you sample, basic gist, right? You let people try the oils because the oils speak for themselves. We're solution providers. We're problem solvers. When people have a problem, we offer a solution to try, okay? We teach them about what they've tried. We teach them just like this on a class, a little basics class, and then that continuing education comes with a support aspect. We enroll them. We help them get oils in their home at the best price, at the best community, all the education they need, right? We enroll them into doTERRA and help them get oils. And then we support them. We tie them into continuing education. We offer wellness consults or a full consultation. We offer accountability. We offer community. We offer friendship and support, okay? So supporting people wherever they're at, whether that be as a customer, as a loyal customer, ordering every month with a loyalty program, whether that be a sharer, somebody who wants to host a little class or an online webinar, someone who wants to share with their friends and family and get their oils paid for, or whether it be a business partner, somebody who wants to build a business alongside of us. So the income potential, here, sweet girl, I'll help you. Again, apologies, kids are here with me. So income potential. These numbers are totally monthly averages in American dollars, okay? So there is no cap on your earnings. There is no one telling you when to work. Your success is in your own hands, okay? You get to choose who you want to work with. All of these things are really important and really powerful, right? You get to move at what pace you want to move at. You get to put the oils into your own business, right? There is for sure duplication matters, and we show you all that, but this is the basic gist of it. Moving up the kind of like, these are our milestones in our business, and all this is depicting is the volume in your organization, okay? Your structure and your volume. As you begin to progress through your business, you have business partners that want to join you. You guys, once you get into seeing this potential with the income and with the alignment and the vision of doTERRA, you see what's possible, right? And the more money we make, the more money we have to give, the more money we have to help. Me and my family in the coming years are going to be helping with the Healing Hands Foundation, which is a doTERRA funded organization that's all global, but we can actually ask for funding through the Healing Hands Foundation for local projects here in Costa Rica. We can help people build houses. We can help, people build whatever it is, schools, help with waterways, help with hospitals, whatever people need, we can give back and help in massive ways, right? So imagine what you would be doing, if you could choose one of these, where would you say, okay, this would be where I would be able to quit my job that I absolutely despise, that is sucking my soul every single day. This is where I would need to be in this time frame. This is something that we talk about on our business discovery call, right? And we create a business plan together that suits your goals, okay? So, I mean, everywhere you see, what would you do with an extra, even $10,000 a month residual? And remember, this is residual, meaning that I know, like, when I go to the beach and have fun with my kids, I'm also, because of the work I continuously do, because of the consistent action I've taken for 4 years, building my business alongside my family life and my kids. This is why I'm getting paid for the efforts that I have done, okay? So I will say consistency is a determining factor in this business. Luckily, we have each other to lean on and support each other with our weekly strategy check-ins and all of those things. But I just want to show you the potential, okay? What would you do? Where would you be if you had this amount of money to work with? What would you do? I really encourage people to dream. When we talk one-on-one, I want to hear your stories. What's your 5-year plan? Who's on your, what organizations do you want to fund? What, whatever it is, what families do you want to sponsor? Where do you want to travel? What do you want to do? Pretty cool, right? So how much time is involved? I want my oils paid for. A few hours a week of intentional actions, right? I want to supplement my income 5 to 15 hours a week. More intentional, you're following a business structure. We plug you into that pathway, right? I want to replace my income 15 to 30 hours a week. This is somebody who's building that long-term pipeline. We understand that this is a season of work. This is a season, there's a season of growth. There's a season of continuous, consistent action. And then that's leading to our long-term vision of time freedom, of being able to travel wherever we want, to do and give whatever we want, okay? Could this work for me? You're passionate about holistic healthcare, essential oils, sustainability, time freedom, lifting each other up, building communities. This could be for you. Do you love people? Do you love making new friends? Do you love talking to other people? Do you love sharing what you love, right? Can you follow a system? We have set systems. I definitely have done my fair share of floundering and struggling in my business. We have systems created directly for you that show you the way to success, okay? Can you get things done when you say you're gonna do them? Can you stick to your word, right? These are all determining kind of factors. What is the next step? So if you have a membership already, talk to whoever connects you into doTERRA, because they'll show you how to upgrade for free, how to set up your loyalty rewards program order so that you're eligible to earn commissions through doTERRA. If you're not a wholesale member yet, you choose a package. Connect back with me or whoever connected to you through doTERRA and ask them to help you choose a package if you can't decide, something that's specific to your needs. But keep in mind, the greater the package, the more knowledge you're going to have, right? And the more money you're going to save up front. Set up your loyalty rewards program order once you're ready to start connecting people to oils, and then reach out. We're here to guide you along the way, every step of the way. Plug you into all of our team trainings, our resources, all of our education, continuing education, all of the things, okay? So the joy of sharing oils, it literally is a massive joy, and something that really lights me up every single day is what I get to do. I get to do this work every single day. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this webinar. I hope you found some value in this. In fact, I know you have in some way, shape, or form. If you feel called to share this webinar, please do with friends and family that might need to learn about the oils or this business opportunity that is widely available globally, okay? Have an awesome day wherever you're at, and please reach out if you have any questions. You can ask me about the business side, about the oils, about any health issues you might be having that you'd like to customize your package, whatever works, okay? Reach out and I'm here to support you. Have an awesome day, you guys. See you later.